So I think that is right now. I'm pretty sure
He was victorious across the maps that we're seeing inside of the Veto. So
Canisters already being drawn out onto the meat inside as well. So at the minute, NIP fairly well set, but as I say, that Daffo manages to pick one up onto hits.
yeah, I was going to say still a couple of C4s to play behind, but with Hates going down, you lose one of them. You've still got the Clash to work your way through. So there are a couple of things that Low still need to get done, but they have got enough time. Even though it's not a lot of time, 30 seconds, they still got time to be able to get this done, especially with the Sophia on side. And sure enough, there goes that Clash. That was the main thing they needed to unlock, and they have done just that. Now they can start their flood on forward, Tim, and sure enough, they're into a 5v2 in rapid time here. Fantasy and Wizard with it all to do. This could be a flawless round to kick it off, if not for a slight Fantasy spoiler, but that's
15 to basically even get a look at Fantasy in that position and be sure that that's where he is, and he's playing it with the shotgun as well. He's dipped away though. Pino's going to take the fight, takes down Perez. Really big start there for Los. Good stuff, and that is a nice entry. This top floor clearance, sorry, opposite way around, NIP. This top floor clearance not going great at the minute for Los.
No, and again, this is where the limitations have been set a bit. You can't go in through the server walls, so instead you're going to have to work your way upstairs and downwards from there. But they're being met around the map by the side of NIP, who are trying to run that clock down. And yes, they might get a couple of kills coming in here, but every time there has been a trade, hopefully collect a freebie off the back of it. The only real threat are those two flashbangs, plus the fact there are tracks here for Dark, I was going to say. Against Deimos, it's never super ideal. It's got an easy 1 versus 1 there, and now things start looking a bit more precarious for the side of NIP.
Yeah, 30 seconds left to go. Low certainly putting the pressure on, but you've just got to wonder if they're maybe going to run out of time a little bit in this 2v2. Also, there's a slight health advantage on the side of NIP. Wizard and Bassetto just carrying those few extra hit points. Oh, and that's really not going to help the situation. Coming around the corner, there's the peak, there's the down. Darky does manage to find Bassetto, but Wizard picks up a double one, where the Tachanka then becomes super powerful.
Well, already they're in here and in rapid time as well. They're saying, forget about your defense team, forget about your utility, we're coming for you. Shielding from behind, but no, the support from Wizard off towards the other. They get the shutdown onto Nux, and this rush has completely fallen apart, Tim. It was a good attempt, but
that maybe Visa door, just get yourself right out on the wide swing, but for the time being, they're happy to just kind of sit. Who else? It was Fantasy. It wasn't out of the Visa door, but it was right up to the breach. Trying to get aggressive. Doesn't find his man. 4 versus 1, but I think it is a matter of time in this round.
yeah, at this point, just chewing through the seconds, really, aren't you, more anything else? But that's okay. I mean, at this point, yeah, it's getting chewed up by the fire. Spat out by the Razor Bloom was the scoreline. Curious to see what the next bands coming out are as well, compared to what we've seen through this map. Sites, they've got to force these defenders away on the top floor. So it's kind of like defending top floor, but with a few extra steps, because you then got to worry about actually trying to get a plant in downstairs. Daffo with the entry and copy on towards Wizard, who goes maybe a bit too aggressive there. I think he was hoping.
Flurry of utility at the minute coming in from Lost, but they're not really gaining too much here.
Yeah.
They're not pushing on the back of it, and Fantasy just takes they took so long there. They invited that challenge from Fantasy, and I tell you what, he'll have another one as well.
I'll tell you what, make it look a bit easier, aren't they? Here I agree.
Not getting themselves in yet, as you said. NIP just wasting time really well, making it difficult here for Lost to really move and do anything. Fantasy's going to get another here. No, he doesn't. Daffo manages to pick up his man. Nux just had a little look at putting the diffuser down then, I think, but came off it. He's going to have another look, go back on it. He has to stick it now. If they can't hold this from below, they've got serious.
Nah.
I honestly don't know what the plan was from Daffo.
I'm not
there
sure. Catch someone out on the extension towards Visa. Right idea. They see the man as well. Surely they get the entry here. Tim, this is looking good. No, but it's Fantasy to get one instead. They just completely missed the fact that he's there and he gets the second, even looking in for a third as well. It cannot be that easy, Tim. Again, they're just blind to where players are, despite having a Dockerby and a Snake on side.
He's just taking him down with a shotgun now. Dark comes around the corner, manages to pick up Fantasy, but look, the damage might be done at that point. 3 versus 2 though. Lost do manage to get themselves back into it. Daffo and Dark have got their work cut out for them here. Bassetto, Wizard, Hates are, I think, going to just back up a little bit now and try to play this a little bit safer. Although saying that, you've still got Hates up on this top floor, manages to pick up a kill, does get taken down. The site's down in basement, by the way.
Going to sit and wait here. Look how passively they're playing, letting him be the one to step in. You only have to miss the tiniest of angles and you are toast. They're teasing him out with the quick peeks as well. Can't really advance because of the angle off towards his left. He might just run out on time here unless he can really make some magic happen. Manages to get the cross, but did not realize exactly how to execute with, by the way. I'm looking in towards mainly the Grim when I say that. Only played it back in the very first round. That should help them in pushing their way forwards, but it doesn't help when you lose your Nomad, the one who's meant to be on the flank watch. off to Fantasy, who yet again just carries on tearing up this half.
See the Rotero going in, and I said that Lost should be looking for an entry in this round to give themselves some sort of edge coming into it, give themselves a round where they're not having to play 4v5. But how about that?
That's
Dash
silly.
picks up a beauty at range. Does he manage to get another? No. It's Daffo who picks up Fantasy. 4 versus 3 now, as Lost managed to spin this round on its head. 40 seconds left to go.
Could appreciate losing Fantasy given he was off on the round, but Pino dying there is frankly unforgivable. You're the smoke. Hates at least hitting one back. It's down to a 3v3. Final 30. They have to start their push in, and here we go. That's the only last impact remaining here, but 2 kills fly the way of Losin. They just flooded in towards the site. No doubt the call came in. The Basetto was off towards top yellow. The other 2 could hit site from the backside. They've got the clear out they need, and they managed to get a...
Transfer that to the attack, then it will be really hard for Los.
Well, that's all Snake.
Know that your push is going to come from 1 or 2 bottlenecks, which admin is a bottleneck essentially. You're coming through 2 single doorways, or you've got yellow stairs, which is a bottleneck, and you're going to have to deal with one of them. Beautiful nitro, by the way, on Pino. You're going to have to deal with one of those bottlenecks. These operators make perfect sense, and you can see why. They've tried to rush in, and they're getting absolutely nowhere because they're coming up against this brick wall.
It was like in round 3. They've tried that rush that we tried to see coming out of the smoke here as cover to get a little bit closer to try and force a challenge, but they just can't do it. So he's in behind the shield. This is where you really snuck. Sophia to help you out. Won't even get close. Shield bashed away by the electric, and now Fantasy with it all to do. That clash team, I think they might rue not banning it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we've seen some really great clash play lately, and this continues to be more of it. Nux getting the final kill there onto Fantasy. Break this defense apart as best they can, and Thorn is going to be the first obstacle for them. Nux is going to be looking to keep them out.
That is mad. That is mad.
That is horrific from Dark. That is horrific.
I can't believe he's got away with it as well.
No,
that is
that's
bonkers.
madness.
Hayes is just thinking, what is this guy? Like, who does that? Only him, apparently. Oh, and Dark's got a second. Okay. He's running the show right now, Tim. Fair play.
Yeah, we see how this one's going. So that's a double for him in the round, and he's just running around picking them up at will. 3 versus 5 now for NIP on the attack. All that they've really got going for them at the minute, and it's a little bit less that they've got going for them at the minute, I was going to say, is that they've got the main breach open and they've got a presence inside of archives, servers, whatever we're going to land on for this. Pino can really roll back the years at times. It's going to be Nux who's looking to challenge him, but at the minute, we are 5 versus 5. Fancy manages to just crawl his way in and find the kill, though. Nux taken down.
Yeah, I'm really perplexed at how Nux didn't see the shadow change on the floor in front of him, but it did, and then before you know it, here's Fantasy. Gets himself the entry. I was going to say, NIP were looking really stuck for a lot of this round, like just lack of that information collection from the operators that have been banned away is really hurting them, I thought. And then Fantasy, they see him on a drone and when Nux is tucked inside of that corner, and then he thinks, cool, I'm vaulting in, I'm walking out forwards from benches down towards front hall, and from there then managed to get the freebie on towards Nux because he was being a little bit too passive. Either way, they've got the response though, right? 4 versus 4 with about 35 to play, and they're just trying to hard force it in towards side door here. I'm not sure this is going to be enough for them, Tim.
Just going to be holding this at a long angle. Daffo hoping to catch anybody out on the vertical. And we're going to see Dark taking down. Pino manages to find 1. 4 versus 3. The Grim gets going. And NIP manage to find themselves a little bit of space. 15 seconds left to go. Basetto needs to find himself in a position to put this diffuser down. Flashes will go off. A few shots are fired into the abyss there, but they don't manage to find anything. Just trying to search through this smoke. Doesn't get the stop on the plant. Looking in completely the wrong direction. There was dash up above it as well. Hits. Manages to find the kill, and now Los have to fight their way back into the round, and they're 2 versus 4.
Bit of a miss, but I think Wizard there, honestly, with the smokes coming out of the capital was what really sort of distracted them. Drop the smokes down and think, cool, yeah, look at us, Warden, here's where we are, promise. No, they were underneath you the whole time. So although it looks like they've just missed something very obvious there, it was actually a really good ruse coming out from NIP. They've played into the verticals, they've got the reverse kills, a nice shot from Daffo, but wasn't aware Pino was still inside the room with his teammate. Like that.
In front of him at the minute.
Just trying to distract while the plant's going down, and sure enough, they're starting to get away with it. No one needs to be able to stop, but has he been a bit late to the party? No, he hasn't. C4 at the perfect time coming out. Might have been a friendly kill off the back of the second C4 that came on through, but they get away with what they need to, Tim. Diffuser is down cold, otherwise that could have been planted, and they could have played windows. That is perfect timing from Lowe's to strike.
Yeah, Laws, I don't think he'll have any idea just quite how close that was. We must have been down into...
Really making sure NIP are sweating every single step of the way. There is something new for them to have to worry about here. Dark's up on the top floor, and that is too easy.
Oh.
Where is Fantasy looking at that point? Like, you're on the skylight, man.
Start pushing forward from there.
Again, I think these bans have been what's really, really hurt NIP in this map. It's really well done by Lowe's, just to make sure they've got a massive lack of information they can lean on. You're seeing it in the attacking gameplay. It's so slow. It's so scared. It's so hesitant. It's not looking good. And again, this is a second kill upstairs, by the way. This is nowhere near site, as we've got 2 or 3 NIP players starting to circle around site itself. He's picking up kills onto the stragglers all day long and now can come down behind them. This is looking really ugly for NIP. You did say, Tim, that you thought they might have the match point opportunity. They're all but guaranteed to get it here outside of Wizard working a bit of magic.
Yeah, it's certainly looking that way, isn't it? It's just been, from NIP's perspective, a complete inability to deal with Dark, realistically. He's run all over the map. He's run all over them. He's got a couple of kills. He's now got himself back to site, and they find themselves in a 1v4. Wizard on low health as well, having to recover the diffuser. I'm sure that they've got somebody over that side as well who's going to be watching it. I think Nux is aware of its position. He's in security, so not maybe quite as far over as the diffuser, so he will be able to recover this, but it's 15 seconds left to go, and there's 4 kills to find. I don't want to, you know, talk it down, but
that could then prove to be his. I do want to talk about Fantasy for a second as well. He started off flying in that first half, Tim, but the second half, all but invisible. It's really not been a fantastic day for him so far overall. Few good rounds, but struggling to get himself too involved. At least here there's an entry, and that could be the ticket that NIP need to start getting things over the line. They lost the Capital though, Tim. I thought they had to keep that Capital. This could really sting.
4 versus 3 though, as Basetto manages to pick up Nux. They are putting that Monty to a little bit more work this time than they did previously. And Fantasy, like you say, yeah, he's on 10 kills, but you've got to look back through them kills and say, how many rounds has that got for NIP? And I don't think they always have. Beautiful second from him though, takes down Dash.
Yeah, this is theirs now for the taking for sure. When you're in 4 versus 2, you've got the shield online still. Yes, you've not got a lot of time, but this should be theirs. They've already got the wall opened up as well. Everything is set. Even with Hates on the upstairs to challenge, this is a great place to be. They can't easily go and play on these holes. He can just chill, but no! Showed too much for himself. Not toe shots. Surely not. No. Pulling off. And a C4 comes on through too. And now Fire's burning out. Fantasy being chewed up by it. They've bottled it, Tim, in round 12. Surely not. They've got the vertical on him. It's all over. How on earth did they let that one slip away?
There are multiple instances where, pressured by time, Lost manages to win rounds they should never win. And that's partly on the fact that Dafo and Dark were heroic, absolutely crazy, the two of them. But also I thought that NIP was way too slow, and the decision making in the last 30 seconds, way too many.
On defense, so let's go find it out then. We'll send it back to Ace and Dez.
NIP to prove they can keep on punching up, tango with the best, and that deep when so required. They've got to do so on the defense of Border. It's Lowe's kicking things off on the attacking side. I'm ready to talk too much about the bans coming away, Tim, and I don't think we'll get too much time right now because Paris is already in. And Remind might get away with a bit of magic here. This could be a problem.
Yeah, you know how slippy Fantasy is as well. Just always finding those little opportunities. The trade is there. Fantasy does manage to down Nux, but to be honest, he's going to be picked up anyway. So he's back up to 20 health. Not the end of the world. Fantasy, it was worth a try. It was a great opportunity. He just couldn't quite manage to make it stick. Dafo picks up Pino. 5 versus 2 now. Lost looking good.
Looking really good, in fact. Yeah, in a spot where surely in a 5v2 you get the diffuser down that they're going for now. Dafo sticking that one inside of Archives. They've got covered off what they need. Wizard is in no man's land out towards security. He get away with it in Fantasy last time around. I wonder here if he's a good option to shore up against the shield. He's being pressed on the window as well. Not a great spot to be in. It's Fantasy domes Perez. Off he goes. That's the Sophia remove. Basetto into a second. They've almost walked into their trap a bit there, Tim. Those are 2 very comfortable, easy kills. But here comes Dash.
So much focus towards dealing with that Oryx. Wizard didn't actually manage to be taking fights, especially against players like Fantasy. We know he's a demon on that SMG. 1 minute 20 left to go, and there we go. Hits manages to catch Daff. Oh, make it 2. Picks up that breach into sight now, so pressure is going to mount on NIP. Pino down as well, so effectively 5 versus 3 at the minute. They're really trying to fight their way back into this one. It's the only way that Fantasy knows, but he will lose his life. A Dockerby cold kill onto Pino, who was downed as well. That's going to finish him off. 15 seconds, Des.
and into one more. It's again the spot where they've got enough of a man advantage. They should be able to get a plant down here. That is, yeah, Wizard, you've got to be getting that kill, bro.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think, you know, if I like to see Amaru, I actually saw it, I think it might have been G2 that did it recently, where we see the Amaru late in the round. You know, rather than zipping in and trying to get in there quickly, you do it in like the last 20 seconds when they're not expecting it. But they're not going to get a chance at this rate. Pino manages to double down on Fantasy's work, so we found ourselves very quickly 5 versus 3 with NIP in control.
C4 from around Fountain as well. It's not like Pino's playing underneath or anything, but they've done a great job in taking away the early elements of aggression. Maybe here you'll probably be wondering to yourself, well, should they have gone a bit faster than Umaru? The answer very well could be yes. Because now they've got a hell of a lot of fight back to do. Dark at least has got in underneath.
Dark's kind of bouncing in and out. He's going to find himself back outside again on the sledge. And yeah, they've got to get something going here. Perez, he will get things fired up for them with a kill onto Hits. That levels things out 3 versus 3. Pino low health as well. So all of a sudden you look at this and you think, you know what, this is actually doable for us here. 3 versus 3, they've got a little bit of a health advantage. The thing they don't have at the minute is any kind of sight control. That's the real problem for them right now.
Yeah. If they can recover this, though, it'll just be an absolute disaster for NOP. They cannot let this slip away from them. Again, you've got Pulse on side. You've got yourself a C4 to play behind with Wizard. They've got 15 seconds on the clock. That's the right sort of thing you're looking for. Wizard in a great spot. They know about the second one coming on through. I think a little bit toe passed there for a second from Dark, who hesitated for a moment and stepped on back. Mayweather found himself unable to get anything for it with the way the Deimos. That's why they were so impactful and why it's so valuable for Los to have them in this round.
I love that Bassetto's trying to play this aggressively, but it's just not worked out for him. He takes so much damage, he dies, he's taken down. Dark manages to find him. 4 versus 3 though, as Perez and Nux are lost along the way. Dark's been so phenomenal at getting these kind of pivotal one to stop a plant going down. That much is for sure. Smokes are going to go out, going to push on into sight. This is aggressive. They have managed to secure the plant. Now the fight back is on. Hits manages to find Dash. That's the planter dead. That's going to be the Twitch taken down as well, so it leaves it all up to Daffo, but he's had a big day today. He's played so well. He is going to hold above his 1 versus 3, Des.
He's got a nade as well. I was going to say the nade can just get rolled down here, no problem, and then deal with the guy that's going to challenge on towards you. Gets rid of the one. The nade has forced them both off. He's expecting another. They have no choice. They're both pushing up to him. Sees one with the cross. Can't even find him.
That's so smart.
Low. That is genius. Isolates out the 1v1. Gets the down. Ready for the next. What a play from Daffo.
Yeah, into them. They've got the snake as well, and I really do expect Los to be finding the next kill or two. As I say that, cast the curse. Fantasy does manage to pick up the sledge, but still Los have such a great picture of everything that is going on this top floor.
Well, that's it. They also know that there's one touch inside of CC. Like, they know where these players are. If he got that kill, that would have been criminal, because Nux would have had no right walking away with that kill on towards Pino as he steps out. Is he going to try again? I was going to say, he has to get the kill. He's got the shield on side, is rewarded with it. NIP, and I tell you what, great escape timing, because Daffo had just come up behind him as well. But with that, they now conceded that offside control. So you know what? Happy getting the kill. And look at Pino. I mean, one, they didn't know he was there. That's a problem in itself, but great reaction from Dash to bring it down to a 3v3. And into another. Perez collects the next. A little bit sloppy here by NIP again, Tim.
We've got a solid Snake DMR enjoyer. He's a man after my own heart. Manages to find a beautiful long kill. 2 versus 2 though, as Bassetto there for the trade. Perez one of his own though, triple in the round. 2 versus 1. Daffo picks up Fan.
Supposed to be the team that has what, 3 months together, 5 different players. I just keep on seeing the momentum. This was obviously the attack side. It's supposed to be easier on border.
Peeking around the corner, going to see Fantasy certainly not bring in the DMR. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. He will be locked in on the F2. Lock in, he will. Takes down Dash. Nice headshot. Nux does manage to find Pino. Razor Bloom goes off. Does not slow Fantasy down too much though. Soliton Radar is going to feed him with a bit of intel for those two that are playing up above. Sprays through the soft wall. Doesn't find anybody for the moment. 4 versus 3. Still in the advantage for Los. They need to start thinking about getting themselves back to sight, though. They're going to lose another one as they try to. Daffo's down, and that's going to be the smoke off the board.
Some of these rounds just come so ridiculously close. It's not even funny. Wizard, though, the hero of the moment, steps up, gets one for himself. Give him absolutely nothing. Both players showing up on scan. Again, that operated him. He's just a bit ridiculous, isn't he?
Really is. Dark does manage to pick up hits. That's going to take Lion off the board. 2 versus 2 now. Can Loss hold on? Problem they've got is time. 55 seconds is so long to survive. Fantasy, he's starting to really activate on the attack now. Had a big round from him. Plant does go down. Wizard picks up the final kill. But you know that Fantasy is certainly not scared of taking those challenges on. Straight in he goes. He's looking to get aggressive. Gets flashed out by his own team. Not ideal because he does get killed on the back of it as well. Dash will be down but not out. Could be collected if they are quick on the take. Dafo manages to find hits. 5 versus 3. It's not looking good for NIP. Pino fights back. Gets 1. 3 versus 4. Position. Like you say, they could well be surprised by it. Just searching and seeking through that hatch, looking for a man, looking for anything that can get themselves going. Dafo onto Pasetto. 3 versus 1. Perez with the final kill, and that's going to be the
hard punish them off the back of it. Really well playing the defensive side. NIP
kind of a situation. 5 versus 4. 1 minute 25 on the clock. Los are happy to just burn out time and burn out lives as the Nitro picks up Fantasy. 5 versus 3. Damage being done to Pasetto. He's on his own at the bottom of stairs. Wizard is low health as well. Los, this is in their hands. This is there for the taking, Des.
Ain't it just, they've struggled so hard to deal with. Even an Azami sat at the bottom of waiting. 2 minutes in and they can't get rid of him, and he's about to 1v1 Pasetto as well. There's no support. He's all alone, Tim. And now be left alone in Brazil. It's Los taking the win. And then
EWC, therefore, thank you so much for joining us, and a big congratulations on making it to EWC. You must be feeling so happy right now.
Hello guys, good night. Thank you. Yes, I'm feeling really excited with this qualification because we are waiting so much for this, and that's it.
Honestly, therefore, I just want to go back to, I think it was like 6 play days ago. I had Dash in interview after one of your victories and asked him a really tricky question. I asked him, you know, you guys made it to Salt Lake City after only, what, 2-3 weeks together, and also teammates from very different teams. And a lot of people had said that it was a fluke, that it was a one-time thing. And I was like, do you think that is the case? And he told me 6 play days ago, you were going to qualify to WC. And so I just wanted to highlight how confident he was already. Did you also believe it, that you were going to make it?
Yes. I think it, but I don't know, sorry. But we are a good team with resilience. We are a really resilient team. We think in these moments of pressure, we can perform really well. So I think this is what we can do.
And do you believe that the fact that you barely scraped your way to playoffs, you were 1 point, you had 1 more point at Fluxo, do you think that kind of relieved the pressure on you guys? Because like you arrived and NIP was the favorite. All you needed to do, guys, was perform.
Yes. I like to play these games where I am the team that is an underdog, because we have no pressure when you come to playoffs, and we show the game we need to do. And that's it.
Therefore, I want to talk a little bit about the bans that you guys were doing on defense, mainly banning away Intel operators for NIP. Do you believe that was a big part of the game plan today, or do you feel like anything else was key to your victory?
Yes, I think our analyst Parndinha bring us really good infos about how NIP like to play, and I think we made a good plan of the game earlier. So I have a big shout out to my friend Parndinha.
That's awesome. Now, tomorrow you have a matchup against FaZe. Now, that match is quite important because it determines if you play groups in EWC or if you have to go through play-ins. How are you feeling about that match?
I think we are going to prepare really well, like we prepared to NIP. In that point, I'm so excited. I don't care about play-ins in France. But we are going to prepare really well and come strong to the match.
Right, awesome. Therefore, thank you so much for your time. And once again, a massive congratulations on making yet another international event.
Thank you guys.
They were the underdog, and so you could clearly feel it in the way they played. Dafo with 30 kills across 2 maps. Absolutely insane. And if you think about it, in the playstyle that we saw on Consulate and Border, what did we see was the biggest difference from Lost to an AP?